Very good morning, my dear student. Today lecture on topic on scientific production technology for Amaranthus. Lecture 14, Unit number 3, BSc third semester. Course code is a hard to 11 and course title is a production technology for vegetable and spices. So just begin. Go to the next slide. Today introduced to Amaranthus. It's a botanical name of the Amaranthus species, and Amaranthus is also families, and chromosome number 2n is equal to 32 and also 34, but common is a 32 is a chromosome number of 2n is equal to 32, and origin place of India and America also, but India is a very important origin place, and it's origin place of India. That's is next point is Amaranthus is the most common leaf vegetable grown in Kerala and Tamil Nadu also, and Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh is also producing a state in India. So large scale growing in the common leaf vegetable growing in the Kerala and Tamil Nadu also. It's very important. So next point is leaf and succulent is stems are good source of the iron is 38.5 milligrams per 100 gram of edible leaves of Amaranthus, and calcium also presence of 350 to 400 milligrams per 100 gram of leaves, and vitamin A, vitamin C is also nutritional source of the resource is presence of the Amaranthus leaves. So it's very important to nutrition purpose. So it's very important, and absorption of calciums to Amaranthus is the however the poor foods is very poor foods is very important to calcium. It's there of next is a absorption of calcium for Amaranthus is however the poor foods because this is a resource of nutrition value. So the iron viability is only about the 15.2 to 53.6% of the total iron presence of the nutritional foods of the leaves of Amaranthus. Both leaves and grain types play a vital role of the combat and malnutrition for the pure peoples of the any countries and areas in the world. So it's both the leaves grain and grain purpose is very important to the malnutrition purpose. So it's very important to nutritional purpose. Next one is what is the classification on the basis of the species is found in the India is the Amaranthus tricolor is very important to use to ornamental purpose. To next one is Amaranthus mangostinus is cultivated for the use of cultivated to use to the leaf purpose for the food material in that human diets is very important to food materials, and DBS is also the cultivated leaves, and blighted to blightum is very important to levidas also. It's Amaranthus levidas the cultivated leaves types, and Tritis wild leaves types wild this is wild species, and Tritis and Bridis. Tritis and Bridis is a wild species, and this is the use of the only for breeding programs and breeding purpose also. And Spinosus is a cultivated grain types, and Gruntus is also grain types used to cultivated types, and Cordatus is also used to cultivated Amaranthus species to use to grain types. So there is three types of the grain type, leaf types, and ornamental purpose. So it's very important to try use of the tri standards, like tricolors is used to ornamental, and leaf also used to medicinal purpose, food material also purpose, and grain type also used to diets of animals, and food used to human diets. So it's very important to majority of the leaf cultivars to grown in India along with the Amaranthus tricolor. So major species there is a very importance to human diets. So this is a different species is a with the photographs, like first one is Amaranthus tricolor is a photographs can be used to ornamental purpose. So it's very important to ornamental purpose. Next one is Amaranthus viridis can be used to food material in the human diets, and it's very important to human foods and human diets. Next one is can be used to Amaranthus tricolor to use to ornamental and landscaping also. So it's very important to human diets and ornamental decoration and landscaping also. Next is a soil and climate of Amaranthus. Amaranthus grown well both in humid climates and hot dry climates suitable for the cultivation of Amaranthus. The plants is prefer to temperature between the 25 to 30 degrees centigrade to very important to growing of Amaranthus. And Amaranthus is a photo insensitive to very importance to food of photosynthesis is important to the foods make of plant growth. So most importance which species will flower when then the length of the hour in the shorter days hour is minimum to required to the 12 hour is importance to Amaranthus grow the best in the loamy slightly loamy soil is with the good water holding capacities to it is the can show grows to wide range of the soil types and soil moisture level of the soil. This is a very importance to the soil and climates for the Amaranthus cultivation. So it's a rich source of the organic matter, and humus is also very important to the leaf growth and availability of the nutrients in the soil. So it's very important to growth and development of the plants. So some species is the tolerant to droughts, and it can be tolerant to pH also. Its pH from the is very important to acidic, and slightly pH is high from the nutritional level is a soil. So it's very important to the range from the 4.5 to 8.0 is the highly acidic, not it, this is a highly acidic, but acidic conditions to alkaline condition is suitable for the all the type of the soil is favorable for this growing of the Amaranthus species. So just there the different type of varieties and different areas and different character also presents in the varieties. The releasing varieties from the Indian Agriculture Research Institute, New Delhi is the Pusa series. All the variety released from there, but Pusa Choti Cholai is a botanically Amaranthus bleatum. Amaranthus bleatum is a very important to plant. Dwarf is a succulent type leaves and small and green leaves. So it's a respond well to the cutting. So it's very important to the number of cuttings to use to leaf purpose for the human diets. So it's very important. And there is a next one is the Pusa Vadi Cholai is the Soti Cholai and Vadi Cholai. This is Choti Cholai is varieties from the Vilatum, and Badi Cholai is from the tricolors and Amaranthus tricolor. Plants are tall and stem thick with the large green leaves. Respond to the cuttings to the used to number of cuttings can be very important to the maximum leaves and maximum area covered by the greenish colors and reddish color also is tricolor is a different color also presents in the leaves. And Pusa kiriti is also belonging from the blytum. The Amaranthus blytum species is very important to the human body's nutritional. And green leaves varieties is with the green and thick stems and leaves lamia broad ovatas, ready for the harvest in the 30 to 35 days and extend up to 30 extend up to 70 to 85 days, yield with 55 tons per hectare, especially straight for the uh, summer season. So it's very important to 80 70 to 85 days is a complete to extend the 35 days start to the ready for the harvesting, starting from the 30 to 35 days and up to 70 to 85, 70 to 75 is the total yield of the 55 ton per hectare, especially suited for the summer season. So it's very important to the high yield and long distance harvesting to cultivation of the Amaranthus. It's very important. Next one is Pusha Kiran is also the tricolor of the Amaranthus. This is the developed by the natural crossing between the Amaranthus and tricolor, and Amaranthus tristis is and has more characteristics of the Amaranthus and tricolor's leaves are glossy leaves, green with the broad ovate and lamina is a leaf stem ratio is 1.0 is to 4.6. Yield is a importance to 35 tons per hectare in the 70 to 75 days suited for Kharif season. It's very Pusa Kirti is a summer season varieties, and Pusa Kiran is also Kharif season varieties, and Pusa Lal Cholai is a Amaranthus tricolor is very important to upper surface of leaves are deep red and lower surface of the furless, and Porbliss is a red and yield of the 45 to 49 ton per hectare is a 4 harvest is required for the cholai for the Pusa Lal Cholai. It's very important to the tricolor, so it's suitable for the harvesting. These varieties can be released from the IHR Bangalore. IHR Bangalore is a Indian Institute of Horticulture Research Bangalore. Is the Arka Sugana is a very important to the Arka Sugana is varieties from developed from the Amaranthus tricolor is a multi-cut varieties with the broad leaf areas. So it's very important to first picking starts to 24 days after the sowing and very earlier harvesting of these varieties and continue up to the 19 days is maximum areas of the maximum duration is a large area or large durations from the moderately resistant to white rust. Its resistance power is also available there is resistant and yield up to 17 to 18 ton per hectare. Yield was very less though, but harvesting is very long times. There is next one varieties so Arka Arunima is very important varieties from the yield and continue up to the harvesting for the subsequent cutting the 10 to 12 days of the interval. So it's the multi-cut varieties to with the broad dark purpose of the leaves. It's a first picking start from 30 days after the showing and two subsequent cutting at 10 to 12 days after the intervals. So it's the total yield of the varieties the 27 ton per hectare is a very important to yield purpose and purpose to farmer purpose. There is a CO1 is a variety from the IHR is a variety And uh, next one is a variety from the CO1, and this is also developed from the Amaranthus dubious. It's is there the uh, a large initial vigor, but the make required the growth after these 30 days and suited for the late harvest and resistance to rhizoctonia leaves and blight green yield. So it's very important to 8.0 ton per hectare yield to the very less, but seed yield is 1.5 ton per hectare. So it's the purpose for the grain purpose. To importance to variety from this is a variety suitable for the Tamil Nadu also. It's very less variety yield of the um, uh, leaves and seed. So next one also the Coimbatore 2, and CO2 is a variety from developed from the Amaranthus tricolor. Is a stem and leaves are green. Leaves lanceolates and slightly elongate leaf stem. Ratio is the 1.8 and suited for the early harvesting, and there is the yield of 10.78 ton per hectare is a its variety is the suitable and suitable for the Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra also. It's a very common variety from these states to growing of the Amaranthus. So there is a some different varieties are suitable for the different amount and different characters and different quantity of the yield. It's very important to different characters is there. So next one variety ratio 3 is tritis. Tristis is varieties from the Amaranthus tristis from to developed the CO3 is the varieties from the C03. Coimbatore 3 is a series from the Coimbatore universities. There is the nearly 10 clips can be taken or over a period of the 19 days. Clips means number of harvesting is there can be taken of the period of 19 days is due to the very high leaf stems and ratio cooking quality and taste are excellent quality of the excellent quality of this varieties for the due to the very high leaf stems ratio and cooking qualities though and taste is very high excellent. So especially their care is the required the hand land preparation for the varieties important to CO3 is varieties from the near 10 claims to harvesting of the CO3 varieties. So is there is a very important to harvesting of their is a leaves. And next one varieties of the CO4 is the hypochondriacus hypochondricus बोलते हैं it's Amaranthus hypochondricus is a different these are grain type varieties to make the rapid vegetative growth within the period of the 20 to 25 days after the planting, and plants are dwarf grain yields and 2.0 to 2.5 ton per hectare is there the harvesting of from up to 80 to 90 days from the sowing time. Sowing dates is very important to number of harvesting and starting from the very earlier to harvesting from the 20 to 25 days of the harvesting. So it's very important to number of harvesting and duration up to the harvesting. So it's very important to the grain type of varieties. And next one is a variety of CO5 is a tricolor varieties from the Amaranthus tricolor. It's very leaves is a double colored and green and pink and free from the fiber varieties, presence of the food material. So it's give a roasties growth in the early stage, and first harvest is possible in 25 days and yield 40 ton per hectare in 55 days. So it's very important to harvesting, and number of days of the harvesting, and there the different color and different pieces of the qualities. So very important characters and this is there, and very important to the food and human nutrition of the human diets. So it's very important to the harvesting of the and harvesting, and there is a very standard for the character of these varieties. So all the things that are related to the amaranthus to very important, and so it can be used to used to the more yield and harvesting of these all the varieties and all the characters for the important of the cultivation of the amaranthus. So it's there the importance, and there is a go for the references, and please go to the details of the reading materials from the handbook of horticulture, and some other books also material available in the GCaldu and genetic improvements of the breeding programs. So is there the genetic improvement of vegetable crops is varieties is there the books of the GCaldu, and also books there the Vishnu Swarup books vegetable science and technology in India, and very important topics and varieties are available in the IHR Bangalore and IR in New Delhi. So it's very related to documents for the detailed cultivation of the amaranthus. Please go to the an inquiry. Thank you very much. Please, any query, any questions, please go to the comment box and raise your hand. So thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much.